Okay, so very quickly, I recorded something after the run I just did about three quarters of an hour ago. I ran about 3 laps and then went back up the hill, start the week gentle. And I sat here in front of a camera, sweating my bollocks off and expounding everything that went through my head as I exerted myself around Brockwell Park a few times. And then I recorded it all, and everything was flying out my mouth. And then I paused it, and then I looked and I realised the microphone wasn't plugged in, so it was me just going. So that was kind of a bit shit. But I'm gonna quickly try and kind of recall everything I said around that time, which I think was quite interesting. Just about this run, and that is anger. When I started off running, when I was just too fucking exhausted, I didn't get very angry at all. But when I started getting a little bit better, I was getting angry with people all the time. I was getting very territorial. Um, didn't like being overtaken. Didn't like people that ran too slow. I didn't like people that were walking along the jogging path. I'd usually say I'm an idiot and stuff like that to them. I didn't like people that walked sort of quadruple file along sort of the pathway or whatever. Although sometimes, I'm telling you, the rage was justified. I think my best response to that was once when I was running out of the exit to the park on my last part of my run. It was a hot day as well. I was stupid enough to be running at 2 o'clock during the summer, and so I'm running out, and then there's these four kind of housewives with their prams and with their pushchairs, expensive pushchairs, I'd just like to add, and they all stopped at the same time because one of them stopped. They all stopped at the same time along the entrance, the gate to the park. So they blocked the entire gate because one of them had to stop. So rather than some carrying on in and waiting for them, they just blocked the whole thing. And I got pretty angry then, but I kind of they're still mothers and all that. So I said, "Excuse me." And then she said something like, because I didn't want to stop running. Once you stop running, your heartbeat starts thudding, and it's pretty hard to start again. Your head gets too much blood going to it. You get quite dizzy, so you have to keep your pace up. So anyway, I say, "Excuse me," and I'm as polite as I could be. And the woman said, and she says, "Would you mind? I'm a woman." And my response was, "This isn't a gender thing. This is a class thing." Which I'm still quite proud of, because those prams might as well have been 4x4s, to tell the truth, if you know what I mean. But anyway, but now when I run and someone is in my way and everything, I've got this little mantra, and the mantra is they're on the same path as me, and that seems to help me empathise with the other person, and I lose feelings of competitiveness and everything like that. So I'm usually pretty cool with that. The only people I get pissed off with now are zig-zaggers and dog walkers. The dog walkers are obvious. It's some guy with some psychotic animal, and when I'm running, I've got my shorts on and I just look like a fucking butcher's window to them. And I just hate macho dickheads that buy dogs that they can't control and they take them out without a leash or anything like that. It's bullshit, and they're pussies. But anyway, apart from that, the other thing that can get on my nerves is the zigzagger. The zigzagger is a runner that overtakes me. Actually, before I say this, I run at the same speed for the whole run. I don't change my pace at all, and that's an important point. So even if I'm doing 4 laps, I run at the same pace. And this is important because there's a hill, big hill, going uphill in Brockwell Park. And so when I'm running up the big hill, I'm still at the same pace as when I'm running downhill or on flat ground or whatever. But what happens with these people is when I'm running on the flat ground, I've got this nice steady pace and they overtake me. And then when I get to the hill, I've not changed my pace, but they get well ahead of me, and I just close the gap, just running the same pace, because they're just like that. And I go past them, and for some reason, usually with men, it turns into a pissing contest. So the next moment, I don't know what it is, but they think maybe I'm trying to initiate a race. I'm not. I've just been running the same pace, and this is the way it's panned out. And then they kind of run past me again, like when we get past the hill. And that kind of pisses me off because it breaks my concentration when I've got some arsehole zigzagging this side of me all the time, you know. It kind of, I forget how fast or how slow I'm meant to be running. But I'm getting better at this now, I have to say. I kind of have little, like, when I do overtake them, I try and make contact and say, look, I'm just staying to the same pace, I'm not trying to initiate a race or anything, and they usually smile back before they do that. But yeah, other than that, I don't mind getting overtaken. I'm on my own journey, you know. I'm setting my own pace, and I have my own goals. I'm not racing anyone. I usually get overtaken by these bouncy middle distancers who aren't. They're not running, man. They're posing. You can tell because they do these sort of strides, and they're just making these actions which don't conserve the energy whatsoever, and they're doing these big bounding steps, and some of them kick themselves up the arse. I have no idea what that's about, but their legs go so far back that they're literally tapping the buttock, and I have no idea what that's about. Maybe there is some special form of running. What am I to know? But I know you can't do distance like that. So a lot of the time I just know that, you know, whatever. In fact, the funniest ones are the ones that do kind of like run past me, and then I get to the hill and they're not even running anymore. They're just holding their sides, you know, like that. That's usually quite funny. But yeah, so anger's a weird thing. I think anger when I run, it's just my body telling me I'm tired. I think it just filters up when it gets to my brain. That's what it becomes. It manifests as anger. So when I do get angry, usually it's time to say this is the last lap, you know, and head up after that. Which is just one way I've learned to listen to my body since I started running. Anyway, that's enough for now. So I did about just under 6 miles today. Today was my first day running this week, so we'll call that 6 miles today, this week, this month so far.